Hey everybody, Parallel here, and welcome to Bless Online. This is going to be my first impressions video for Bless. I was finally able to get into the game here for the Early Access Steam release. This is the North American version of the game that just went into Early Access on Steam. I'm actually playing a few days after the early start, so I'm actually playing on May 31st here, because of course this game has been having some serious issues. And I hope I know what I'm getting myself into here, because the community on Reddit and Steam have actually been tearing this game a new asshole. So I'm not sure what to expect going into this. But I have been trying to keep up on what the community has been saying about Bless. I'm aware of a lot of the issues, and I will discuss those as I'm going through my first impressions here. So for this video, what I'd actually like to do is I'm going to start out with the character creator, and then just go through some of the initial story and get into the gameplay a little bit. In particular, I want to focus on the combat and see how it feels. It's very important to me. I do think combat is critical in an MMO to make it feel, responsive and enjoyable to play. So I will be evaluating the combat very closely. And then at the end of the playing through a bit of the story, I want to take a look at the cash shop. And see if it is actually pay to win or not, because the developers, NeoWiz, have been promising it wouldn't be pay to win, so I want to check that out and make sure that is the case. Like I said, I'm not oblivious to a lot of the community outrage right now about this game, so I will be discussing that and trying to comment on a few things as I go through the game here. Some of it probably is warranted, and other parts I'm not sure if it would be applicable in the current state of the game, or maybe there's some things where it could be understandable given it is a very close to the launch window here. Another thing I want to mention before I get in too far, as I'm playing through the game, I did run the .ini fixes, so I actually went through. There's a lot of optimization that you can do in the INA file to make the game run better. I did actually run through the tutorial just to see if the INI fixes were in place and everything, so I have actually played through the tutorial, but not any farther than that. So beyond that, I am very fresh to this game. I am also running this on a pretty high-end computer. I have a Intel Core i7-8700, and my video card is a 1080 Ti, so pretty decent rig. And I want to, as I'm going through the gameplay, I will kind of let you know what kind of frame rate I am getting with the INI fixes, and with a pretty decent hardware, what kind of frame rate I'm getting. Because, like I said, I'm very much aware of what the community is saying, that the optimization in this game is absolutely terrible, and I will want to measure that. In the tutorial, it didn't seem too bad, but that's not a good measurement of the actual performance of the game. I want to actually get through into the major city and take a look at what the frame rate is there. But hopefully that'll be useful to at least someone if you are interested in what this game kind of runs at on a high-end machine with the INI fixes in place. Then watching this video should be helpful. I am running at 1080p and also recording at 1080p. So enough of the introduction there. Let's actually get into the character creation. Now, the character creator seems to be very, very good in this game. I have actually gone through and already kind of customized my character here. For this initial session, I do want to play a elf paladin. The paladin is sort of the healer class in this game, and I have seen nobody, I have not seen a single stream or YouTuber actually play the paladin at all, so I wanted to check it out and see what healing is like in this game. And here's the character, but I'm going to go back and just start out the character creation screen here so you can see some of the initial options. I'm sure if you've been following Bless at all, you're aware of what the race and class combinations are, but you've got your pretty generic human, elf, you do have the cat people, and then you have the lollies. So pretty standard race selection there. And there are several classes as well, and some of them are actually locked right now. They're not actually implemented in the game. NeoWiz said they will be implemented later because they are revamping the combat still on those classes. So you've got your typical tank with the Guardian, you've got a Berserker, which is your sort of melee DPS off tank, you've got your Ranger, which is your range DPS, Mage for range DPS as well, and then Paladin is the healer. So not too many classes, honestly, to start with. It will be nice when those other 3 classes unlock. And of course, then you can select your gender. So like I said, I'm going to go with a Elvish Paladin. And the character creator is actually exceptional, I have to say. This is probably the best character creation tool I have seen since Black Desert, honestly. It's maybe not quite up to Black Desert's current standards. Black Desert has some really cool tools where you can even load like community presets and most used presets right into your character. So this character creation tool is not quite as advanced, but it does have a lot of options. You can see right off the bat you have tons of presets you can select from, a whole list of presets here. Yeah, I'll just click through a few of them so you can kind of see some of the options, but there are tons and tons of presets. So you can kind of get the start that you're looking for. You can select your body type, you can select skin color. You've got, one thing I actually noticed that's nice is that for each section here, like for head, face, makeup, you have, each one of these has presets for just that part of the body. So for here you have presets just for your head. If you have the body shape that you like, but you want to try some different head presets, you can do it this way. I thought that's kind of a nice touch. I haven't seen that in very many other character creators, like presets by section. Like you can have presets for the makeup. So it's pretty cool. I actually really like this character creation tool. There are tons of, if you're interested, hairstyles. There's your Lady Gaga hairstyle. I even saw they have like a Elsa hairstyle here, and right next to that you've got an Anna hairstyle, so there you go. I mean, you can go crazy with the hairstyles, and there's quite a few available right from the start, so the selection is actually very good. It's not like you have a paywall where all the good hairstyles are locked behind the cash shop, so a lot of good hairstyles to pick from. You have all kinds of options. You can select different areas of the face, and you can drag and drop to change that area. You can change the eyes left and right independently if you want. So yeah, just tons and tons of options across the board. An excellent character creation tool. You have all kinds of tattoo options as well. And at the bottom here you have also all the slider options, which is very nice. So you can, if you want to tweak everything to your heart's content, you have sliders for everything: eyes, nose, body, mouth, ears, cheeks, everything. Excellent slider choices as well. And even nicer, you can actually save your preset and you can load presets. So that'd be really cool. Hopefully the community will start creating some, community presets. Maybe there'll be a website or something where you'll be able to go and find a lot of presets out there and download them and create that character. That would be really great. I've seen a lot of other MMOs do that as well. But here's a preset that I made for the character that I was showing earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and continue. So once you've customized your character, you can then come here. You have to choose your name, and then you can select your voice. Sounds a little bit on the quiet side. You can even change the pitch. So yeah, lots of different.
Did Ronan mention that? Don't get in my way.
Ooh, that sounds pretty good. I like this voice. Almost sounds like Jennifer Hale, so let's go with this one. Alright, so there we go, guys. Let's go ahead and get into the game. So character creation is absolutely excellent. lots of presets, lots of options. Let's go ahead and actually jump into the game. I will go ahead and start with a tutorial, even though I have actually gone through this before. But it does give a little bit of a introduction to the games, or you can see kind of how the UI works and how the controls work. In the INI fixes that I did, there were some really nice fixes for the camera zooming and also the mouse movement for X and Y. So there's just a lot of good. There's a field of view fix. So I definitely highly recommend going through the INI and making those fixes. I'll actually, I'll go ahead and link to the Reddit thread that has a guide for all the INI changes that you can do. Now, just let me quickly say, I'm not going to excuse the developers from not doing this out of the box, honestly. I mean, if there's this many optimizations that can be done just by editing an INI file, then it definitely behooves the developer to do that out of the box, or to have have a configuration tool where you can set all these settings without requiring the end user to go in and make all these changes in a text file. That just doesn't make any sense. So I'm in no way excusing it, but I'm just saying that I did want to go through and make those fixes to improve my experience before getting too far into the game. Okay, so yeah, conversations are by using your action key, which is F. So yeah, you could just basically walk up to the NPC and spam F. So there you go. You jump using space. So right off the bat, the controls feel pretty decent. I'm not a huge fan of having the WW be sprint. It would be nice if it was, if I could bind, maybe I'll see if I can bind shift to sprint, that'd be nice. But I will show you that I did rebind a few keys while I was going through the tutorial previously as well. I did change the combo keys for, where was I? I think for action bar. Yeah, I did change the chain skill or combo skills. I found that the default, which was RT, oh, it is RTY. It looks like I may have lost my settings here, but I'm gonna go ahead and rebind these to Q, E, and R. Q and E are just bound right by default. They're just bound to strafe left and right, which I do with the right clicking on the mouse anyway. So these keys just work a lot better. T and Y are kind of hard to reach from your normal, WASD position. So it seems to work better with this configuration. All right, so yeah, let's continue on. Thank you. Let's jump over here and head down. So, as I was going through the tutorial previously, and I will show it to you here, something became obvious fairly quickly, and that is the translation. The translation is not that great, in particular for the skill toolbars are not translated very well, so it's kind of hard to see what they actually do. Yep. So let's go ahead and continue the quest here, but yeah, you can click the journal in the menu located at the bottom right, and we'll teach you how to use items. Pretty easy. So you can do it here. So this brings up sort of the main menu. It's the same thing you get when you press escape, so pretty easy there. But so you can bring up your inventory and then right click. So there we go. We use the item. Press the key to open up the tactics window. Okay, so this actually took me a while to figure out the first time, because this is where sort of the bad translation kind of comes into place. And I heard from watching some of the streams and from the community as well, just that a lot of people were getting stuck at this because some of the translations are actually terrible. Because it's telling you to attach interruption tactic combat stance to an empty slot in the stance chain skill tab. In the non-chain skill tab, add concentration to an empty slot. So, Took a little bit of finagling to figure this out, but what you're actually supposed to do is click this mount skill, which I think is a very odd way of wording this. I mean, you don't usually like mount a button on a bar or a stance. Usually a mount you think of getting on your mount for, you know, for travel. But what this actually means is you have to click this mount and then you can actually place it into your stance bar down here. So there you go. I think a lot of people were getting stuck on that, and you say, okay. Yep. And then I also need to load up another non-chain skill onto the bar as well. So again, you have to select the skill, which is actually called concentration. You just go mount, and you have to mount it to one of these keys over here. You can't mount it to the 1, 2, 3. So go ahead and put it there. So that completed the quest. Now, for Paladin, this didn't seem too bad. I've seen other people getting stuck because the skill names in the quest tracker didn't really match the skill names here. So again, just translation problems. There are a lot of translation issues. So, and the community has definitely been very vocal about that. And that is important. It, you know, it kind of shows that, you know, the developer did not put in enough time to actually make these translations go through. Yeah, and you can actually read, just reading through some of the skill, just, you know, just has strange wording like, you know, time until can be used again 7.0 seconds. Why don't they just say 7-second cooldown, something along those lines? It's just a very odd translation. And for the life of me, I was trying to read this skill previously, and I'm not quite sure what this even does. It says non-targeting skill, maximum mana 5% plus 50 consumption. Time until can be used again 20 seconds. So it has a 20-second cooldown. Is it granting me maximum mana, but then consuming 50? It just doesn't make much sense. And then it says it reduces the cooldown of some skills. Is this like a buff that gives me a, during this buff, I have reduced cooldown on those skills, or do I click it while those skills are on cooldown and then it reduces the cooldown? I have no idea how this works. And yeah, that's just all part of really just poor translation. Now I'm looking at this, and I was trying to look at this earlier. I don't even see, I mean, I don't even see any of those names of these skills. I don't see Crusader Will, Fanaticism, Prayer, Seeker's Devotion, or Benevolence. I don't know if these are like Crusader's Will. Was that one of them? Yeah, okay, so there was one of them right here. But that's the thing, so now I have this skill over here. They gave me the skill at level 1, but it doesn't actually affect any of the cooldown of any of the skills I have until level 19. I don't know, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But yeah, so the way the combat actually works here, now I'll just keep going through the tutorial, but all of these skills here in the chain area are your combo skills, and then the non-chain skills you could just use, you know, regardless of what stance you're in. So first, it says select the target, training scarecrow. Okay, so we got a bunch of them here. And as you can see, this is actually, I'm pressing tab. This is tab targeting. I know the developer kind of said it was going to be more action combat, but honestly, this feels exactly just like tab targeting to me. Again, this is something I've heard the community discuss in great length as well. Apparently, the way it is right now, that only the Berserker class has the actual quote-unquote action combat. But honestly, from what I've seen, I don't even think the action combat is action combat. It just seems like it's more like an action camera, sort of, where you have like a reticle and then you mouse over what you want to target rather than hitting tab. But to me, that's not action combat. You know, Revelation Online tried to pull kind of the same idea where they said it was action combat. It's really just kind of a thinly disguised tab targeting combat, where you just have a, you know, a targeting reticule instead of, you know, pressing tab to actually go over your target. So A little bit disappointing there. I mean, I'm okay with tab targeting combat. It's not my favorite. As long as it feels responsive, I'm okay with it, but it really is not action combat. And a lot of games out there are claiming to be action combat, and they're really not. Honestly, the only games I really consider action combat are games like Terra or Vindictus that have, you know, actual like collision and hitbox based combat, not just where you actually select a target and then it just measures the range from you to that target and then you hit a hotkey on a bar. So this, I don't think, even with the revamp, if you're looking for true action combat, this is not going to be that. It's going to be just a sort of a slightly more action oriented tab targeting with this combo system. So let's try the combo system. This is actually pretty nice. I actually enjoyed this when I was first trying it. So it says use the 1K to use the chain start skill, strike. So there we go. And then you can use rapid strike. I brought it to Q. And then you can press the key to use the 3 chain. I just lost it. So there, 1, 2, boom, there you go, 3 chain. And then you can see it actually resets. Pretty cool. So you press the 1 key to use chain start and bring a switch to stance. Okay, so now that I loaded the second stance onto the bar, you can actually see the stances are here. And when you hit the tilde key, it will actually switch between the stance, and you can kind of switch on the fly. So, yeah, well actually, let's do this. So it says switch stances. So I can start with the verdict, yep, that'll be the 1. And then I can use the next part of it, there we go, and then that. And interestingly enough, when you're in this stance, that used like almost my entire mana bar. That's kind of crazy. So spend mana and then press the 4 to 7 key on the for use the concentrate. Oh, so does this restore mana? Is that what it does? So let me try this. So boom, chain, and this is actually in this stance you have some range stability. Oh, I'm out of mana. I couldn't complete the chain because I was out of mana. Okay, but so my mana is down low. So now if I press concentration, that did not grant me mana. That took away mana. Spend mana and press 4-7 key on the keyboard to use concentration skill. How did that help me? What did that do? It cost a ton of mana and I have no idea what it just did. I don't see, like, I was looking for a buff bar earlier, but I don't really see one. I've got this down here, but when I use concentration, it doesn't seem to give me anything. So, who knows? Okay, so I gotta defeat this lesser demon. Let's give this a try. Let's use my ranged combo here. So I think the first one in the is actually melee. Oh, and it knocks back. And you can chain, and you can chain. So that's pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead and close this window. That's really annoying. Okay, so then we gotta loot. Loot the lesser potions. You just press F, which is your action key. Pretty easy. And that should be it for the combat tutorial. Oh, we gotta actually beat this guy. Alright. Oh my god. He like two-shot me. I'm guessing this is the death tutorial. After resurrection with the dungeon, speak to the Daidane tribesman Olier in the Otherworldly Knowledge Academy. Okay. Surprise, don't be afraid. This is what we originally looked like. This is your original appearance? Correct. You can only see what we look like in the future. We are those who follow the providence. We cannot directly interfere with the world. That is why we are hiding. How can I see it? Yeah, translation, not so great. Others cannot see us if we do not reveal ourselves, but you are able to see us when you die. When I'm dead? Okay, when you die, the resurrection of the soul, why is that in brackets? We can move right into a nearby Daidane. If you talk to us, we will resurrect you. so I can resurrect through you guys. Yeah, you can see the translation is, yeah, kind of bad. I'm kind of laughing. I know it is more of a serious issue, but I don't know. The translation in a lot of MMOs has been pretty bad, particularly near launch. I remember Blade and Soul's original skill translations were horrendously bad. And let's not even mention Revelation Online. Holy cow, Revelation. That game was barely even translated at all. That even like the UI was still, half the UI was in Russian. The skills, half of them were in Russian or Korean. And it was just all over the place. So yeah. It just seems to be an unfortunate reality that MMOs do not know how to get translations right initially. Okay. So that seems to be it. It says exit this place by interacting with the portal, and then I think we are back into the original game. This is about as far as I got before, and that is it. But yeah, just taking a look at the combat one more time. I mean, it is pretty cool. The combat itself feels fairly responsive. Even though that seems to take a lot of mana. I don't know if I'll be able to... There's no auto attack in this game, so the only way to actually do damage is through these attacks, but they're taking so much mana, it's hard to see how this is actually going to work. Oh, conversion effect for stance 1. Okay, so when you... Is that what it is? When you change stances, it gives you a buff? Ah, nice. Increases physical and magic defense by 30%. Ah, so the stance itself has a little bit of a buff. Okay, that's kind of cool. But yeah, the combat is not bad. Seems fairly responsive. This second ability here, Retribution, I think it's a heal. Yeah, when using an ally's heals as much as that. And then after that, that chains into that same Retribution skill. Alright. Alright. So that's the combat. It's actually pretty interesting. I mean, yes, it's pretty tab targeted, but the combo system does have some potential, I think. Alright, let's get out of here and get into the proper game. Now, during that tutorial, I was sitting well over 100 FPS, so not any issues, performance issues there, but like I said, I don't think that's necessarily a good measure. Let's get into the actual game here and see how it goes. Whoa. Wow, that's my character too.
Please come, exalted elf.
Moyan Roa, Tarsal, Tagni.
Another failure. Kalandra, remove the shards of the ancient soul. Give this incomplete one some clothes.
Incomplete one,
Send it
huh?
under the shadows.
Interesting. So I'm an incomplete one. I was not a proper carrier of the soul. That's interesting. I know nothing about the lore of this game, so maybe that's how elves are born. Who knows? Or maybe they're trying to do some kind of magical experiments and I was created from that. I have no idea. But it did have English voice acting. Woohoo! That's something. Again, something that some MMOs have had a problem with. Revelation Online, again, was never even bothered to get English voice actors. So I do appreciate that that NeoWiz did go through the time to actually hire some English voice actors and do at least, translating all the voice work to English. So that's a good thing.
The Regent's experiment has failed again. The fragment of the Tree of Life has spawned yet another incomplete elf.
What do you mean?
I will answer that later. You have something you must do first. You must take care of the soul fragments that scattered in the wind when you woke up.
Take care of the soul
If
fragments?
you leave the fragments like that, they will turn into evil spirits. Evil spirits which hate all living things and try only to possess and corrupt. You must get rid of all the fragments before that happens.
Okay. So I have to get rid of the fragments. I guess that these pieces of soul. Yep, definitely just your standard tab targeting here. Alright, so let's do this. Why are my keys unbound again? So maybe the tutorial has different key binds than the actual game. That is very odd. It seems to be resetting my key bindings a lot. I hope it doesn't continue to do that. Let's try this again. Definitely the third hit in that combo does way more damage. I have no idea what these pieces are. What are these? Ooh, that level 10 support box. That's right. There is a leveling event going on right now. Where like every 10 levels you get to open this support box and it gives you some goodies. So that's kind of cool. If anyone is interested, right now I am getting about 80-90 FPS in this area of the game. So I completed that. Let's go ahead and talk to the quest giver here.
Well done. Now I will take you to a place called Shadow Village. Shadow elves like you live in the Shadow Village.
I do? I'm a shadow elf and I live in the Shadow Village. How convenient. I am an incomplete elf?
Yes, you are a shadow elf. You do not share the memory and knowledge of the Tree of Life. You have only the body of the elf, not the soul. You are incomplete.
Okay. Well, that's not good. But how am I a shadow elf? I'm pretty sure when I graded this, it said I was an aqua elf.
The Tree of Life hasn't spawned complete elves for so long. The same thing is happening in our hometown, Elgradis, too. The Regent wants to use magic to deal with the situation.
So they're trying to like force the Tree of Life to spawn elves? Same thing is happening in our hometown. So they're trying to use magic to do it?
He tried to rid the shadow elf body of its imperfect soul, to allow the soul of an ancient elf to take its place. But he failed, and you were born.
Did he try to kill me?
No, he tried to stop you from being spawned. It was for your good, too. Unlike complete elves, shadow elves like you are mortal. A life with a definite end. It is painful from the beginning.
Interesting. So a mortal elf, too. I don't understand.
I suppose. Of course, you would never understand, for you are incomplete. It is rather a blessing, I suppose, for those cursed with mortality. Well, that's all for today. You must go now.
Okay, Calandra. Cutscenes seem to be done in engine, which is nice, so you get to see your own character and everything.
This is the Union Protected Zone.
A Union Protected Zone. I'm assuming that means it's not PvP. Oh, there goes my frame rate. Alright. So frame rate has dropped significantly. So right now I'm looking at about 50 to 60 frames per second. Yep. I'm just going to run in circle here and just kind of get, yeah, 55, 60, around there. Okay, so definite drop in the frame rate here.
This is Shadow Village. Now you must find a shadow elf called Cora. Cora will help you to settle here.
Okay, I have to find Cora. Another shadow elf. I wonder how many shadow elves there
Cora
are.
is one of the firstborn incomplete elves. She takes care of the other shadow elves of Shadow Village and is known as the matriarch of the shadow. I wish you luck, incomplete one. The road ahead of you won't be easy, but I hope you don't blame us.
So I take it she's a pure elf and we are the shadow, like the lowly under race, like the servants or something. Okay, so let's see what we got here. So visit Cora and we got a auto run quest. Activate auto run by clicking the shoe-shaped icon. Over here. Here we go. Aha, auto run. Yay. So yeah, I'm curious what people's reaction will be to this. Some people really, really hate auto run. Having played BDO a fair amount, I'm kind of fine with auto run. It does. I can see why people sometimes don't like it because of the makes it feel more like a mobile game. But as long as it doesn't have auto combat, then I'm fine. I mean, if it has auto combat, then yeah, it's a mobile game.
I haven't seen you before. Are you a novice? It's been quiet for so long, but now the Shadow Elves are spawning again. Well, the Regent would never abandon his plans that easily.
Boy, her voice seems really quiet. I'm going to quickly adjust the volume here. Can I adjust NPC voice volume? Let's turn this up.
I haven't seen you before. Are you a novice? It's been quiet for so long.
Did that actually change anything?
I haven't seen you before.
It definitely did not
Are
change
you a
it.
novice?
So apparently the NPC voice
It's been
volume doesn't
quiet
work.
for so long, but now the Shadow Elves are spawning again. Well, the Regent would never abandon his plans that easily.
Is the Regent crazy?
He still clings to the idea of making and abandoning Shadow Elves like you and me, to try to resurrect the souls of the ancient elves.
So everyone's just okay with this? He just kind of creates these broken elves for...
Did Calandra say that? I think the elves above know that I am in charge here. Anyway, be careful. It's dangerous around here.
Okay, what's happening?
It's nothing special. Danger lies everywhere in Shadow Village. Shadow elves like you are risking their lives to collect Surma. The Shadow Patrol wards off enemy attacks in the meantime.
Ah, so the Shadow Elves are in the Shadow Patrol in the Shadow Village. Woo! What is Surma?
Surma is something like a mineral. You can collect it only in Shadow Village. It's the only thing we can trade with the elves above. We need Surma to gain food, clothes, and other things we cannot make ourselves.
Interesting. So the elves up above, so all the high elves live up in some nice little, you know, some nice high village, and we live down here in Shadow Village. And we have to collect Surma for them and trade them for what we need. Okay. So we're basically like the servant race.
Soul fragments that scattered when we were born have now been corrupted into evil spirits. And the evil spirits possess the bodies of our people, turning them into twisted ones. I don't know why, but they seem to gravitate towards Surma.
Okay, I see. Talk to Cora. I just talked to Cora.
Oh well. Are you a good fighter? Then you must help me, novice. This is so urgent that I'd even accept the help of a hermit crab.
Okay.
Tell the patrolman over there, Regan, to draw back the line of defense. The enemies are attacking us with abnormal ferocity. We need to retreat.
Okay. Gotta go talk to Reagan. So, voice acting seems fine. I mean, it's not super amazing, but it's serviceable. I mean, the voice actors did a decent enough job so far. So what I gotta do here? Relay the order to Patrolman Reagan, who's fighting. Well, I guess I could just click the auto run. There we go. Whoa, look at that pathing.
Everybody run!
Uh-oh. It looks like a Wretched. Looks like these are like blood elves and then they turn into the Wretched. Well, I guess he is gone. So we gotta do here. Defeat the corrupted ancient soul and twisted ones. So I can defeat those. Let's try a twisted one. Ah, take that.
Please select a valid target.
Myself? Ah. So let's change to my other stance here. No switchable stance? What the? Oh, did I only get that for the tutorial? Ew. Okay. So apparently the tutorial, they give you more abilities than what you actually start out with. Okay, so apparently I don't have a stance yet.
Please select a valid target.
So one thing I'm noticing here is it does seem to have a like auto follow to your targets. I wonder if that is something that can be turned off because I do not like that auto run. In game settings here, right, left mouse click to move, tracks target when a skill is used, that might be it. Let's try it.
You can't use
Yes, okay, so it's not tracking to the target anymore. Okay, so that's good. You can turn that off. Okay, so we completed the quest. Auto run. You know, one of the things I actually like about auto run is while you're doing that, you can kind of like look around and enjoy the scenery.
Last. Regan is gone. How many of our members have died? Are the workers safe? It's my fault. I should have ordered a retreat much earlier.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I saw how you fought, Novice. You were only just born, and yet you killed so many. Amazing. How could a Shadow Elf be so gifted?
I was lucky. Yeah,
Well,
that's it.
if you were really lucky, you wouldn't have been born as a Shadow
Ooh,
Elf.
get some armor.
Anyway, you're good enough to join the Shadow Patrol whenever you like. We're always short on fighters. What do you say? Interested?
What do you do in the Shadow
We
Patrol?
fight in front and die first. Shadow Elves are created so helpless, like newborn babes. So, I organized the Shadow Patrol to protect ourselves.
Okay, so she kind of put together, organized an
Unlike
army.
the other Shadow Elves, I didn't live here in the beginning. I lived above for a while, and I learned many things there. That's why they call me the Matriarch, or the Chief here.
Ah, so they used to live with the elves up above.
Regent Arkiel felt sorry for us in the beginning, but he still never hesitated to send us to Shadow Village. He thinks a life with an end is meaningless.
You don't think of it the same
No
way?
one but I can define the meaning of my own life, Novice. My life is my life, even if I live just one day rather than 100 years. Even the life in Shadow Village I've chosen to live.
You said the patrolman died first.
Death is a part of life. Is that difficult for you to grasp, Novice? We were born and then abandoned in Shadow Village with no purpose or reason. But it won't be the same when we die. Do you understand?
Okay, sure, yes, I will join you.
This is the Union Protected Zone.
I'm level 2. I have become 2 level. Yay. Go translation. I have become 2 level. 2 level without even a space. Look right here in the log. You have become 2 level. I did get some armor. Let's put this on. Alright, cool. So yeah, the armor at least does change, so there is some graphics to when you equip new armor. It's good. Auto run to the next place. Does it actually show, like on the mini-map, where... It does show the path on the mini-map, so... Okay, so there is the... It looks like it is a blue shield, apparently, is the icon of your destination. Okay. Yeah, so going into the city area, it is going back down to 50 to 60 FPS. I mean, still playable, it's not too bad. But, you know, anything below 60 FPS is quite unfortunate. I mean, I didn't buy a 1080 Ti to run below 60 frames per second, so that is definitely an issue. Okay, let's talk to Cora
We've got
here.
a mission, Novice. Someone saw a suspicious shadow lurking on our shores. Right. It might be a twisted one who's broken apart from the crowd. Go and check. If anyone encounters him who hasn't undergone Shadow Patrol training, they could be in real danger.
Okay. Now, it looks like the quest is way over here, but I'll just do the auto run. So see where we are here. Mistvale Shores. So it looks like this is kind of the Elvish starting area. I wonder what all this is over here. How far can I zoom out? Wow. Oh, okay, I can zoom really far. I can zoom, like, off the side of the map, so there's no background. Okay. Can early access anyone? You need to extend this texture to the side of the screen. Whoa! What's hitting me here? Let's heal ourselves. Okay, the heal barely does anything. You see how little that did? Let's do one more time.
You can't use that.
That heals for... I don't know, I'm not understanding this at all. Did that really heal for 188? Or is, like, the scaling off? I don't know, something's weird. Okay, let's speak to Aaron.
Thank you for your help. I was in grave danger. I was trying to purify this corpse. I never expected it to wake up and attack.
Purify the corpse.
If we leave these corpses where they lie, they will become corrupted beings, just like before. But there are so many bodies and they are so widespread. It won't be easy. Can you collect some bodies for me?
Sure, how do I purify the corpse?
I draw upon the power of Providence's harmony that I serve. But I cannot purify such a wide area at once. I can purify these bodies far more easily if you carry them here for me.
Sure, I will collect the
This
corpses.
is the Union protected zone.
Okay, seems like a pretty typical... Oh, okay, so there's... I was gonna say, it's just your typical gathering quest.
You can't use that.
Ah, have that. You can see that knockback being quite useful in PvP. Although, seems like the initial skill in the chain has quite a long cooldown, so you can't necessarily redo the same chain right after completing it. What the? If you miss, it cancels the combo? That's not good. If you miss, it canceled the whole combo. You gotta start back at the first thing. That is bad. Look at that. Miss. Dodge. See, you dodged. Oh my god, I'm almost dead.
You can't use that.
Oh my god. Yeah, so if you run out of mana... Man, I ran out of mana so fast. You are dead, so I can resurrect or soul capture. What is this? None of Lumina. Oh my gosh, so you have to use the... if you want to resurrect, I guess that's maybe like right where you're at. You have to use the pay currency. If not, you gotta use the... gotta go back to the, I guess, like the graveyard person. Yes, please resurrect me. Probably should have been watching my health there, but man, it's after a few combos you're already out of mana, and there's no auto attack, so you immediately lose. I mean, immediately can't do any combos or anything. There's no auto attack, there's no nothing, so definitely gotta watch out for that. But so far I haven't seen the frame rate go below about 50, so yeah, definitely the INI fixes are helping quite a bit, so yeah, I definitely recommend doing that. But otherwise the game actually looks quite good, even though this is an older Unreal 3 engine game. The character graphics are quite good, the art style is nice.
Thank you. I couldn't do... Oh, I haven't introduced myself. My name is Aaron. I don't know this part of the Shadow Village. I've been wandering so long.
You must be the suspicious shadow.
I came from above, from Elrano, in secret. So it's true that I'm cautious, but do not worry. I will do no harm to you.
Came from above?
Right. The Shadow Village is restricted. We cannot come down freely, just as you cannot go up freely. I came down in secret to investigate the mineral called Surma.
Interesting, so she's actually a pure elf, or high elf, or whatever they're called.
Everyone knows that Regent Arkiel is obsessed with stockpiling Surma, but he alone knows its purpose. I suspect it's related to the resurrection of an ancient soul.
Interesting.
Magic alone cannot bring the dead back to life. I think the core of the Regent's plan must involve the use of Surma. But he would have to pay dearly for it. I doubt it comes without significant cost.
Has he already succeeded?
Yes, he succeeded. But only once. Regent Arkiel brought the Queen of the Elves back to life. Queen Erleone Lilianthes.
Why have a regent when you have the queen?
Although, I heard that he was unable to complete the resurrection fully. Her soul may have returned, but her memory is still lost. Therefore, Arkiel still rules Elrano as regent.
Probably didn't want to give up power. Okay. So we got a little bit of a storyline going on here. Alright, so we gotta go back to Cora. No idea what the death penalty is in this game. Wait a minute, did it equip this? Oh, there we go. Did I not equip that armor? I guess I didn't. Thought it looked different, but this actually looks different. Okay. And it has more physical defense as well.
Right on time. Reports say that one of our members is injured and isolated. Kayla knows the location. Ask her to lead you there.
Okay.
Kayla will be waiting for you at the entrance of the village. Find our injured soldier, and if it's too late, put him to rest.
Okay, Chief. Get rid of him?
Yes, if he's already possessed by the evil spirit, then he's no longer one of us, but just a twisted one.
Alright. So let's look around this town here. Looks like we've got some merchants and things. General merchandise. All kinds of stuff that I have no idea what it does. Sell miscellaneous. Oh, cool. So we can sell like the junk items. That's easy. Is there like auto sort? Okay, there's an auto sort. Split item. Okay, so if you wanted to unstack something. Okay. I have heard a lot of complaints about the UI. It does look a little bit, I don't know, unpolished, I guess is maybe the word. It seems functional enough. I mean, the minimap seems okay. Chat box and everything. I haven't really tried to move the UI around. Is there like a UI? Like, can you resize the chat bar? I don't see an obvious way to like resize any of the windows. And I'll try to figure that out later, but I've heard the UI is quite uncustomizable and very static, so that is definitely an issue. I mean, the default settings seem decent enough, but I know a lot of people do like to customize their UI, so I could definitely see how that would be an issue for many people. So yeah, let's just do the auto run here. But yeah, the graphics are not bad for an Unreal 3 engine game. It's not bad at all. I mean, it's maybe not up to like BDO standards, which I think BDO is still probably Black Desert Online is probably one of the best looking MMOs out there. I mean, still at this point, it is top tier. So
I met an evil spirit. I was in danger. But a patrolman helped me and was left behind.
And you're standing too close to the mic.
Go and save him.
All right, let's go.
This way. I hope he's all right.
Yes, let's go. You coming, Aaron?
I have a sense of foreboding. I'll assist you.
Oh, thank you, Aaron.
The corrupted souls.
Target went out of range.
Be careful. The corrupted souls.
That was cool. I don't know what spell that was.
Be careful! The corrupted souls!
Pretty much only got one combo. The combo does feel pretty responsive though, so no complaints there. My only complaint right now is that you seem to run out of mana way too quickly.
Be careful! The corrupted souls! Be careful! The corrupted souls!
Heal this does like nothing. I mean, mana does seem to come back quickly, but man, just like being able to do like 2 combos, then you just have to like sit and wait. I can't imagine any kind of an extended fight, you know, being engaging if you run out of mana so quickly. Maybe this is just an early levels issue. Maybe once you scale up a bit and get some more mana, you can actually sustain combat for a while.
I can tell from your uniform that you are a brother from the Shadow Patrol. I don't think I've seen you before. You must be the rookie, right? Good. Well, at least we have fresh blood to replace me if I die here.
I'm here to save you.
No, it's too late for me.
Oh, it's too late.
Please, before I turn into a twisted one, please, kill me.
I've got it. Okay, yeah, I'll kill you. See ya.
How boring. He's dead already.
How
Thought he'd
boring.
last a little longer. longer.
Oh, great. What is she, like, gonna turn evil on us here or something?
The Regent's experiment has failed again. The fragment of...
You killed him? Well, that's all right. I have new prey. 2 of them.
I knew it.
You fools. You are trapped. Here.
We're trapped?
You have some new prey.
Why are we trapped? Can't we just run down the beach or something? Whoa, that's a big one.
There are too many of them. At this rate, neither of us will make it out alive. I have an idea.
There wasn't too many, there's only
Hold
3.
them off for a moment. Hang on a bit longer.
You can't use that.
Do wish I had a ranged ability to pull with. That would be nice. My only ranged ability is like later in the combo, so I can't like start with it.
Step back.
Whoa. Whoa, okay.
Imen hier Elrano ris un ed Helen. Erleon Liliantes.
These elves seem to have an aversion to wearing clothes.
Emarsar. Lostom mer. Sin reason ed Helen Conwy.
She seems to be quite powerful.
Her Majesty? I discovered where Her Majesty is. Get the guard troops ready immediately.
So she's the
Relax
regent.
now, young ones. The lawbreakers are all gone. At least from around here.
The lawbreakers? That didn't make any sense. What are they talking about?
This is the Union protected zone.
Okay, so we're back here. So this is that... So this must be that queen then that one guy created. And the regent must have just found out about her now or something? Or there's some kind of clash going on here.
You must leave Shadow Village, my friend.
Who are you?
I'm sorry that I concealed my identity for so long. I had to do so to escape the attention of the Regent and his lackeys. Officially, I am still asleep.
Okay. I acquired some stuff that I have no idea what it does. 8 sapphires. 200 rose stones. Oh, okay, here we go. I've learned the new tactics here. Okay, so now I'm back up to kind of where the tutorial was at. Okay, so let's do this again. Mount this. I wonder if you could like switch these, because you could like cancel this and mount that on the first. But change okay, and then let's put this back here. Okay. So it looks like at level 26 you get another stance, and then some more later. Okay, so 26 you get a healing stance. Cool. Okay. You get more chain skills later. I'm not sure where these abilities are. Enhanced physical strength. Looks just kind of like passive buffs. Like defense. Yep. Amount of XP. Okay. Okay, so yeah, this is that one elf that must have been created, like the quote-unquote successful one.
You know who I am. You need to leave Shadow Village. No, you must leave Elrano. I can tell you how to escape.
How?
You can ask my friend, Periel the Teleporter. When you get to Elrano, the next... Wait, are they?
What is it?
Calandra and the Regent's men. I think Arkiel has sent them to capture me. Be careful, they will try to hurt you.
Okay, so Calandra, the Regent's the guy. The Calandra must be working for him. Okay, then send them to capture me. Be careful, they will hurt you. It won't happen. Or Ade.
How did you get here?
To think that you were in Shadow Village. The Regent has been worried about you, Your Majesty.
Did the Regent tell you to bring me in?
It's time for you to return to the palace.
Let my friend go!
Whoa.
This is absurd. We were thwarted by a single
Whoa, I don't want to fight this many.
You can't use that.
This is not good. I'm running on Manon again. No, don't hurt me.
Hey, back down, incomplete one. Surely you can't think you can stand in our way.
Yeah, take that.
Majesty is less of an entourage.
Now I get to run around and do nothing until I get some mana back. I can't even do the third combo in the champion. There we go. Yeah, this needs some balancing. I don't know, maybe this is just... I don't know, maybe it's just early in the game, but that is pretty bad. I mean, like, you get attacked by 4 mobs. You do like 3 combos, you're out of mana, and then you can't do anything.
I'm glad Calandra gave up so quickly. I doubt she expected you to fight back. But she will return with more soldiers.
Interesting. Seems to be some kind of infighting going on here, because she was created as the queen, so she wants to take over, but then, of course, Calandra wants to maintain power, so interesting.
As I said, you need to leave El Rano. Find my friend Periel and go to the Upper District Airship Wharf. Chico from House Sforza will be waiting for you there.
Chico.
He is a messenger sent to El Rano by a human house called Sforza. We became close friends while he was here.
Sforza,
He
that's the
also
server
helped
I'm
me
on.
to escape the palace.
What do I do when I leave here?
Please expose the secrets of Regent Arkiel and the Surma. Chico will tell you the details. I'll fight the Regent here in my own way.
Okay, so we gotta expose the
This
region.
is a Union protected zone.
Ooh, another player. Okay, so I must be more in a public area now.
You're a friend of the Queen's. Do you want to go to the airship wharf? The Regent has eyes and ears in the upper district. You must be careful.
Okay, let's go to the airship docks. So we're going into the upper city with the high elves. I mean, there's the guy. Whoa, the red names. Yeah, okay, so... guess we can't be going in there.
Queen Eleone was caught at last. But she will deal with it. She is the queen of the elves. We will pry into the Regent's secret.
The Regent's secret? Secrets?
The Regent is removing Surma from El Rano. We will go to Spezia and investigate the route. Change into this robe. You stand out too much.
Okay, this is the first time the voice translation didn't seem so
Change
hot.
into this robe and you'll look like a noble elf. Get on the airship and you can go straight to Spezia. Come to the Gold Dragon Inn when you arrive.
Alright. Okay, let's head to the... oh, where are we going here? Disguise yourself. Okay, so let's go ahead and use this. Will that let us go where we need to go? Yes. Oh, we only need to go over here. We didn't really even need to go into the city.
Hurry, traveler. The airship to Union City will depart soon. Please tell me where you are going.
Show me where I can go. Right-click to select course. Okay, where do I gotta go? Said Union City? was it? Yeah, that was it. This little blue icon. That is... What do I do? Okay, just click on it. Whoa, okay, so I'm actually on an airship.
Union protected zone.
That's kind of cool. So instead of a flame hot air balloon, it has like a red crystal. Makes it float. Produces heat. That's kind of cool. It's kind of steampunkish almost. It almost reminds me of Air Infinite Realm, that new game coming out, kind of a steampunk MMO. Can I move? No, I can't move. Yeah, okay, so it's loading. Looks like this might just be a sort of a hiding the loading screen, basically. I can see some other balloons here. Yeah, the art style of the game is actually pretty nice. Pretty decent. I mean, the textures are a little bit on the low-res side, but not horrible. I mean, I'm zoomed in pretty close here. The textures don't seem too bad. The music is pretty damn epic, I have to say. I actually saw that the music was all composed by Hans Zimmer, which is a very famous movie composer. I went right into the middle of the dock. Yes, epic music. Can I go in the water? Oh yeah, I can swim. Cool. Seems like that's a lot of things MMOs don't have anymore, is being able to swim. You just kind of... The water is usually just an invisible wall, basically. So that's cool. They did actually put in swim animations. But yeah, the music is amazing in this game. Hans Zimmer is a great composer. Let's just go ahead and do the auto run. I'm not quite sure where to go here. Oh god, frame rate. Where are you going, frame rate? This is so far the worst. I'm now down to 36 frames per second. This must be the city everyone was complaining about in the community. Yeah. But I think I've gotten a pretty decent feel for at least the initial levels of the game here. I didn't want to play for too long, because I did want to check out the cash shop and kind of just wrap up and give a few final thoughts here before I close out the video. But this is definitely the lowest frame per second area. Although, the detail looks pretty good. Not a lot of NPCs running around for a city, though. It looks pretty empty. I remember reading at some point, I believe, as part of their optimization for the Western release, they did remove a lot of the NPCs to improve the frame rate, so that probably makes the city feel a bit more empty here. But graphically, it looks pretty decent, honestly. You can see the textures are a little bit muddy up close, but not bad. Not too bad, at least, you know, for Unreal 3 we're talking here. But I was trying to think of, yeah, this music is great. I was trying to think what other movies Hans Zimmer did. I believe he did... I know he did Pirates of the Caribbean, which is an amazing score. I love the music for Pirates of the Caribbean. I think he also did Gladiator, which is another great score. What else did he do? I want to say he did Dark Knight, although I'm not positive on that one. But yeah, that's actually really cool. So the music is absolutely fantastic. that'd be kind of cool if more MMOs followed suit. You know, actually got some like famous like Hollywood composers. I know they're probably extremely expensive, but I'd say it's worth it because this music is fantastic. So yeah, let's check out the cash shop. So what is it? We've got store and we've got special shop. Oh, store. Okay, that just opened up my Steam overlay. Special shop. Okay, so here we go. The special currency shop. I believe this is what we would call the cash shop. I do want to look through here and see if there's anything officially pay to win. Yeah, additional crafting XP, additional dungeon XP. So these are basically all your boosts. Nutrition refreshment, reduces energy point consumption of mounts. Guild growth elixir. So yeah, a lot of so boosts. I mean, some people consider boosts like this to be pay to win. I pretty much don't. It just means you level a little bit faster, you get to cap a little bit faster. In the long run, it usually doesn't matter that much. So yeah, not too worried about that. It's just holy water. Obtain holy water when used eliminates any resurrection effects. Okay, so you gotta pay money to eliminate resurrection effects. Peace pledge. Where to obtain? Okay, this prevents attack by hostile players. So this thing I've heard about, and I think this is actually kind of bullshit because this is actually an item you have to buy for real money. So using the Lumina currency, you have to buy these items if you want to unflag for PvP. That seems like a really terrible system. I've never heard of any game like in history ever charging for like real money charging for a PvP flag. That's kind of ridiculous. I mean, if they wanted to use like in-game money to do it, I could see that perhaps, but real money, no. I don't like that kind of a system at all. I'm really hoping they change this or alter this for the North America release. Hopefully some feedback will contribute to that. So yeah, not liking that at all. It's not pay to win per se, but I do not like having to spend real money on that kind of a game system, right? I mean, PvP flagging should be part of the system. It should not be an item that you purchase. Teleport scroll. Teleports you to a stored location. So fast travel basically costs money. That actually reminds me of another thing I heard the community was, and Reddit was talking about this as well, is that there's actually an item you have to purchase to teleport to the dungeons. That seems absurd. Like, I mean, I know they said you pay for convenience, but come on, I mean, every game that has like a dungeon queue, you always can just teleport to the dungeon. You don't have to pay real money for that kind of a feature. That's going a bit ridiculous. So that's another one I hope they either get rid of or change, you know, during early access. Memorization scroll, current location will be stored, so you can kind of store it here and then teleport to it. Skill reset scroll, so you can respec. That type of thing's pretty normal. Strong repair kit. When used, repairs one piece of equipment to maximum durability. There must be some kind of a durability system in the game. This might be a little bit shady. I'm not sure how much that maybe you lose durability when you die or something. Not quite sure how that works. A little bit worried about that, but at least not overtly pay to win. I don't see anything like an actual like items you can buy outright that are more powerful. Inventory expansions, pretty standard fare. Extra tactic, I think that is like a more like a skill layout you can have. Character slots, pretty standard. Costumes, okay, let's take a look at the costumes you can get. Mechanical, can I like preview this? No. Where's this? This do it? Ah, there we go. So you can preview it. That's cool. It's kind of like a gothic / steampunk looking outfit. You've got Nightcrow Vigilante. Pretty cool looking. Red Hawthorne. That's a nice looking armor as well. Got your gold armor. Protunian Bag of Radiance, okay. Blue Rose Garden Bag. So yeah, basically just it looks just like a formal dress pretty much. And Winter Milky Way. Oh, that's cool. Pretty more like a fancy formal dress. That's actually that's pretty cool looking actually. So that's looks like about all the costumes you can buy at least right now. But yeah, each of these are 2,600 Lumina. That's kind of pricey. How much? I'm actually not quite sure what the conversion is. I think it is 100 Lumina per dollar about. So you're looking at like 26 bucks around that for the costume. That's kind of on the pricey side. That's not quite as much as Black Desert, but still kind of pricey. Definitely more than like Blade and Soul costumes are much cheaper. Okay, you got your mounts here. These are about 1,500 Lumina, okay. Mount skins, got a pretty cool looking panther there. The wolf looks, oh, that's a pretty cool looking wolf. Not a whole lot to select from. I bet we have a pretty limited selection here in North America for the release. I'm betting that more of these will be added over time. We got your pets here, so a couple different pets we can look at. Circus balloon. Interesting. Little floating eye. And a mouse with a top hat. Or a hamster? Not quite sure what that is. Appearance change. Okay, cool. So you can change your appearance for your character. Yep. For 1,200, so about 12 bucks for an appearance change. That's not horrible, I guess. Kind of on the pricey side. What are these? Vivid Spirit of the Bear. Oh wait, these use something different. These aren't using the cash out currency. I don't even know what this currency is. These look like enchanting items. I'm not sure how this works. I'm not sure of what currency. I wonder if that's the PvP currency, maybe? You can buy materials and enchanting items with the PvP material? Or maybe are those like dungeon tokens or faction? I'm mousing over it, but it doesn't really say. Daily reset, 1 max per server, sharp horn. Yeah, another currency here too. So you've got this currency. 3 different currencies here. But I know these gems, that's the Lumina. These are the pay currencies, real money currencies. So definitely doesn't seem to be anything too bad here in the cash shop. I mean, you just got your standard costumes, you got your standard inventory, character slots. The only things that are annoying are these teleport scrolls that, you know, the ones that let you go to the dungeon, and then these peace items having to pay real money for PvP flagging just seems bizarre, honestly. But I have to say, overall, the cash shop seems pretty non-offensive. I mean, the devs did say there's not going to be pay to win, and I don't really see anything pay to winish there, at least initially. So we'll see how this evolves over time, but it's pretty cool. Some of these costumes are pretty cool looking. Alright guys, so that is the cash shop. And I guess I'll just kind of give my final thoughts here on this first session here for Bless Online. So I guess, I mean, first thing, like I said, the cash shop, the developer said it was not going to be pay to win, and they seem to have followed through at least on that promise. Now, there are some other things that they didn't seem to follow through on, which I'll kind of get into here in a minute, but at least from that perspective, they did hold true. What else? So the art style is fantastic. I really like the art style. It's definitely a good-looking high fantasy type game. Cities look good, although they do look sparsely populated, and it's unfortunate that I believe they did have to eliminate a lot of the NPCs and, you know, everything, activity from the cities to try to improve the performance. Music is absolutely amazing. Hans Zimmer is fantastic, and I mean the music you can almost just listen to, you know, by itself. I do appreciate the fact that it does have the English voice acting. There's only a couple voices there that sounded pretty subpar, but a few of the main ones actually sounded quite good. The voice actors sounded great, so not bad. I definitely appreciate that it actually is in English, unlike like Revelation Online didn't even bother to have English voice acting. I know a lot of people don't care about that, or some people even prefer the original voice packs through the original languages, which I completely understand, but I like having at least the option for English. It means that the developers at least took the time to hire the actors and put in the effort to do that part of the translation. So I do definitely appreciate that. Now the combat did seem pretty decent. I mean, it does seem responsive. There is a little bit of animation lock, not too bad. The combos were quite responsive. I didn't notice really any lag. I did hear some complaints of lag, but I think that was probably just the initial few days when the servers were completely overrun during the initial, 2 days launch. Now this is, the 4th day after launch. They put a patch in. They've opened up a bunch of servers. Seems to be a lot better now. So the combat, I have to say, is actually decent, but don't call it action combat. It's not action combat. So I think the developers should not really call it that. They should just say maybe like action camera or something along those lines. It's not action combat. It's tab targeting with its own little flair with the combo system, which I think is pretty decent. I mean, just don't expect more than like a slightly new twist on tab targeting. So we'll have to see. I did hear something that I was excited about. There's a vendor over here. Something that I was excited to hear about was there is a really robust pet taming system. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I didn't think I would get to see that here in this first session, but equipment. Yeah. Okay. So he's got some kind of like preview. No, okay. So large quantities. Okay, I didn't mean to purchase it. I was trying to preview it. But I can put it on, see what it looks like now. Yeah, so that's cool. So definitely, there are lots of different visual. Each of the armors seems to have its own visual appearance, so that's great. So your character will change as you level up and get new items. That is important. Something definitely lacking in Black Desert. Basically, in Black Desert, it would look like crap unless you actually purchase the store costume, but at least the equipment you get does have a visual appearance to it. That's nice. But yeah, like I was saying, the pet system does seem to have a lot of depth to it. I do hope to take a look at that in the future, but that does seem to be one of the strong points of the game. Even the community is very positive about that portion of the game. So that's definitely the things that I think are positive. Now, what are some of the negatives I've noticed so far? I have to confirm what everyone's been saying. The optimization is quite bad. Like, I'm running around right now, I'm getting mid-30 FPS. Like, right there, I was just getting 31. So is it playable? Yes, but remember, I'm on a pretty high-end rig, and I did actually run the INI fixes. So this is honestly this is like top-end performance you're going to be able to get in this game. That's pretty cool. This guy has some cool mounts. Is there a dance emote? Yes, there is. Let's go ahead and close this. So yeah, I mean, the optimization is bad, and I could see if you're not running a high-end rig, I could see it being really terrible in the cities in particular. But I have to say, definitely run the INI fixes to try to optimize your experience if you are going to get this game. I would say if you have a mid or low-end rig, you're probably better off just avoiding it or waiting until they actually do get some optimization in. Because, yeah, if like a 1080 Ti is running this at 30 frames per second, it's going to only go downhill from there. So yeah, that's very unfortunate. So I'd say all the complaints are valid about the game's optimization. The translation, it's hit or miss. The voice translations actually seemed pretty good for the most part, and except for a few exceptions. The skill translations, however, are absolutely terrible. A lot of the skills, it's almost impossible to figure out what they actually do. I have no idea what some of these skills do. So I would say that is the worst part. Then again, I've seen other games where the UI, the skills were not even in English in the initial release. So this is, I mean, it's there. The translation is there, but it needs a lot of improvement before it can actually be considered, you know, decent, readable, so you actually know what your skills are doing. So there's that. So I have to say, overall, it seems like a pretty standard MMO. I mean, nothing is blowing me away very much so far. It does have its drawbacks. A lot of the complaints the community has about the optimization are valid. I think a lot of people were expecting more from the combat, because the devs were claiming it's quote-unquote action combat when it's really just kind of a tab targeting hybrid with some combos. I don't think the combat is necessarily bad, but it's definitely not up to, say, like Terra standards or Vindictus. So, yeah, take that as you will. So is there anything else? There's just a couple of things I do want to mention. I didn't really experience it in this game because I haven't played for long enough to get that far, but the there are like rumors in the community that there's a lot, well, not rumors, a lot of people have already gotten to the level cap, and they've noticed that a lot of the endgame content is missing. It's not a rumor that it's missing, it is actually missing. There seems to be some debate in the community if there, you know, this content was promised and then removed, or whether it was, you know, never intended to be in there to begin with. In particular, the content is like the high-end, like PvP Battlegrounds, PvP Arena, the rank system. The high-end PvP Zone is like a barren wasteland. It's like not even implemented. Some of the dungeons aren't implemented. The ones that are implemented aren't dropping the right items. So a lot of issues at the high end of this, you know, at the level cap. So definitely beware of that. And I've also heard that there is a dupe exploit that's been going around, and it has been killing the economy. So the developers need to take some action on that. Now, actually, as of the time I'm recording this video, there was a post on the Steam community forums by the developers. So they called it, quote, an apology post, and they gave some updates on some of these items. And I have to say, that's why I kind of got back, or, you know, got into this today and actually started playing it, you know, in earnest. I wanted to get in this today because they did put in a patch where they fixed some of those initial launch issues. You know, they brought up the servers online. The queues are down to a more manageable level now. So they did actually react pretty quickly to those initial launch issues, which I think is a pretty good sign. There are other signs that are not so good, but they did say they're going to address the duping issue. You know, they're aware of the optimization issue, but I think probably the most concerning thing is the optimization issue, because it seems like, you know, that this game has already been out for years in other regions, and they just haven't figured out how to optimize it. And the fact that they're, you know, having users having to go in and edit INI files, you know, that should not be necessary. That should all be done. The developer should do that, and the game should, you know, be able to recognize the specs of your system and configure the INI files appropriately. It should not be something the user has to do manually. So hopefully the developers they need to get some expert in Unreal 3 and really get them to sit down and hammer out what is causing these issues, these frame rate issues, and get it nailed down like fast. So that needs to be a critical priority. But I mean, what can I say? It's hard to judge the game this early. I can understand why a lot of people are saying the game is garbage, you know, with all the high-end content missing, with maybe the action combat not living up to what people expected, with the optimization being how it is. I've heard some people even complaining that the graphics are bad, and I'm not seeing that. To me, the graphics look really quite good. They're not top-end for MMOs, but they're certainly not bottom-end either. They're above average, I would say, for MMOs, and character models, the art style, all look really good, so I don't really have any complaints about the graphics. I think that some of the graphics complaints are probably coming from people who turned off a lot of the graphics to try to get a better frame rate, and that I can understand. They probably turned off the graphics. Maybe people who were streaming, you know, wanted to run in lower settings to get a higher frame rate, and made the graphics look pretty terrible. So that, I think, is probably what is going on there. So I don't think the graphics are bad. The graphics are really quite good. But the optimization, you know, it's not there. So it's hard to say. I mean, this is an early access game, but then again, yeah, I don't like always using that excuse that it's early access, because, you know, a lot of this stuff should have been figured out already. I mean, they're charging for the game. This is a soft launch. They're not doing a reset. If the game is finished enough where they can release it on Steam and start charging and open the cash shop and everything else, the game should be ready for launch. And since this game has already been out for many years in other regions, you know, it seems like they would have had time to iron out a lot of these issues. So, yes, you could say it's early access, but that's kind of a cop-out excuse. It really should be in a better state than it is. So, yeah, there's that. Now, some things like, you know, the server issues for the first couple days, that's pretty understandable. Almost every MMO has those kind of problems. Even the translation issues, to some extent, can be understandable, because, again, that's something they have to do for the North America release. But the items that have been around for years, those should have been resolved by now. And early access is not an excuse for things like the optimization and whatnot. That has been happening for years in other regions. So that does need to be addressed and fixed. So it's a mixed bag. I mean, it's hard to really say... you know, it's hard to really recommend this game in its current state, although I'm not sure that it's really deserving of the extreme amount of hate it's been getting. I don't know. I need to play a little bit longer to see how the combat, you know, if the combat has a little more depth, and how it actually pans out as you level up. So it's too early to judge there from my own personal opinion, but it's hard for me to see why it's been getting as much shit as it has been. But we'll have to see where it goes from here. I would say for now, unless you're really dying to try out a new MMO, I would say probably just hold off and just wait to see what the developers do over the coming weeks. They did, in that letter on the Steam community forums, they did mention that, you know, some of that endgame content that was missing should be added in the next couple weeks. I would probably say wait until then, and see if the content does come in, if they hold true to their timeline, if they fix these duping issues, and at least improve the optimization, maybe improve the, you know, the INI files so you don't have to go in there and edit it, or maybe add some of those options right into the user interface. If they can do that, some of those things in the next couple of weeks, I would say maybe it is worth checking out. But right now, I would say there's no rush. Definitely don't have to jump in right now and then, you know, be disappointed or regret it. I do know a lot of people have been getting refunds. That's a very popular topic on Reddit. People have been getting refunds through Steam. And again, I can understand why, and particularly with the optimization. If it's running like crap on your computer, I could see you just returning it because you just can't even play it at a reasonable frame rate. So yeah, I mean, there's all those issues out there. Steam has been actually very good about giving people refunds from what I've been hearing, so there is that. I don't know if I'm, you know, from my own personal viewpoint, I will probably hang on to it a bit longer to see what happens over the next couple of weeks to see if it's actually worth it. I don't think I'm going to just rush in and refund it at this point. I haven't played for 2 hours. Make sure to get out and enjoy your life. So it has one of those warnings for playtime. That's kind of funny. So yeah, so I guess in conclusion, I would say for my recommendation, it seems like it has, the gameplay has potential. It has a decent, you know, the core of the game seems decent. The issues are with the optimization. The issues are with the you know, the lack of the high-end content. So, you know, the issues like the translation, those kind of things are all there. So you just kind of, you'll have to make your own judgment. Like I said, from my standpoint, there's no rush. I would say just wait for a couple weeks, see if they put in the new content and they live up to their targets, and see how NeoWiz is going to react. I mean, there's no publisher for this game. They are self-publishing it. And that's a plus and a minus. I think, you know, usually publishers handle things like the translation, and NeoWiz is kind of doing that on their own. Whereas, so that's kind of the downside. But one of the plus sides is they have reacted pretty quickly, or at least they were pretty quick to, you know, post on the Steam community forums and recognize some of the issues. And they did actually, you know, recognize those issues. They did admit to them and didn't try to sugarcoat it. So that's great. Some good, some bad. I mean, it really is just a mixed bag. So, so that's how I think where I'm going to leave it off here, guys. I mean, a game with potential. It has a decent start, but, you know, has a lot of issues that need to be resolved to really have it be a complete game. So I would say no rush. Don't jump in yet. Wait a couple weeks, see how the game pans out, and just yeah, make your own decision then. I will also do the same myself. I do want to level up and get further into the game. Probably do another video with a higher level, you know, once I've leveled up quite a bit more and have a bit more experience and can talk a little bit more about the end game. That now, you know, having some personal experience with it. So, but yeah, I think that is it for now, everyone. That is Bless Online. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this was helpful and you can see, you know, what the game is, just raw at this point. All right, so yeah, we'll just close it out there. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.